Yeah, it's gone. Been pretty busy lately, so been missing out. MIA. Let me make sure I'm live. Looks like I'm live. Yep. Looks like the dollar's still coming down. The weekly close last week, and it's continued. Closing on its lows on Friday's close, allowing it to momentum carry through, what is today, Wednesday. So I think the goal of mine, or my opinion, was down into the 92 range. So I'll have to see if that happens or not. I got some support here at 93, double bottom. But definitely broke down. And I think it looked like a head and shoulders top there. So there we have it, the measured move. Let's take it right there where it broke the 34. So I got 94, 93. It's approximation, so don't be mad at me. 94, this is call it 94 for a measured move. Anything extra is a bonus. Just taking the pattern to the trend. And the neckline is probably right there instead. So let's call it 93.5. So it's almost through its measured move. I'm thinking it'll come down to 92. If that doesn't hold, it's in no man's land for a while, down into 89, 88. I'm looking at previous highs, down to 86. And if it broke 86, it can ride that range all the way down to 80, 85. That'd be pretty bad. Another $10 off the dollar. This whole time that dollar's coming down, gold has not gone up. Drives me absolutely crazy. S&P, actually, let's look at a weekly close. Again, weekly close, if it breaks 92, the previous highs down at 88, 87. It's probably a better goal. If it breaks 92, no man's land to 87. And those are when the big drops happen. No support. S&P just took off like a bandit. It's got to be some hyperinflation. Maybe not hyperinflation. It's got to be inflation. Again, watch for the head and shoulders top. I have a left shoulder, right, or the head, wherever that turns around. And then it'll break the neckline, come back through, and get resistance at the neckline and fall on over. So let's watch for a head and shoulders top. It looks classic for one. Looking for some exhaustion moves, some wicks pointing up. 3 wicks pointing up, that's a tri-tip, and it's likely to come down, even double tweezer tops. I have no idea why the fundamentals on this are going straight up. It's got to be inflation. There ain't no jobs. Huge retailers going bankrupt. No one's buying cars. Everyone's defaulting. Chicago's or Illinois is going to do a bailout on everyone's pensions. 32% tax increase. It's just horrible. I don't know. It's got to be inflationary. VIX still down in the dumps. Got to get the S&P to turn down. Watch for the head and shoulders tops. This could be the exhaustion move, straight up, exhaustion, come down, swing back up into resistance, and just fall over. Head and shoulders top. But that's a bullish move. Bullish retracement back into support, and now it's doubling back. Watch for the flat top break. The Dow, S&P's on its freaking highs, so no telling where that's going. And look how short and sweet that pullback was, and look how strong that push up was. It didn't come all the way back down into support. It didn't even have to. It took the previous highs, bounced off of that real quick and sweet. The quicker the pullback, the bigger the move. A lot of times you'll see the drawn out cups into support. Did weekly close on its high? Yep. NASDAQ. I just laugh because there's absolutely no reason why these are going straight up. Confidence. Blame it on confidence, I guess. New president, new economy. Got a flat top break coming. Broken previous highs. There you go. Made a double top, came into support, made a nice little hammer, doubled back, broke that high, now it's off and running. Watch for the head and shoulders tops. That could be a nice left shoulder here. A nice exhaustion move coming back in, cutting under the shoulder line, double back into resistance, falling over. Crude all the way into the 8. Boom, back in, support, broke previous highs. Pretty nice go. Everyone thought this was going to drop off the map, make new lows. And as soon as the media ever says anything, you probably want to think the opposite. So it hit the natural course return, came back into support. Little tri-tips. See the tri-tips? 1, 2, 3. Came back into resistance, came back into support, into resistance, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Pop. Watch for a previous high break. Could be a nice run this time. Should have broke out a long time ago, but it got weak. Should have broke out here. 50 should have got a 60. But it's been consolidating. Consolidate, consolidate, consolidate. Hopefully now it's over. Oil looks bullish. Gold. Gold's hitting resistance. I'm looking for it to come back into support. I got my buy purchase order at support. Going to make that. And even this is conservative. This area above the 8, 1225, I guess. That right shoulder can come swing and pass resist or support into previous highs and lows. So it could come all swinging all the way back to 1200, I guess. I got mine at 1225 for the paper trade of my life. Silver. Looking for silver to come back in as well. Hopefully it has enough juice to hit the 34 like gold did. I hope it does. But nice run so far. It might need to come over as the 8 is crossing over the 13. Price will come down to meet it, splash, and continue on up. It is at previous lows. So it looks like it hit resistance pretty good. Watch for previous low break into support, buyback, and watch the double back all the way up into the 34. Copper. Looks like I got a tri-tip on copper. Or a double top. Here's a reverse head and shoulders that failed. can see that. Pretty simple now. Came back into support. Doubled back. I got a 3-bar pattern working, but I got a lot of resistance on the way back up. So above 50% of the previous candle, plus the 813, plus the double top now. And it looked like tri-tips on the daily. So that looks bearish. It's going to double back. If it doubles back and takes out those tri-tips, then yeah, bullish back again. But I got to get above previous highs, 50% of the previous candle, and the tri-tips on the top there. That's a 3-bar pattern working. Watch for previous low breaks, and don't let it tease you with that 8 coming in. That's a pretty steep pattern there. But it could surprise us. It could double back here, make a nice sharp U, bam, take it out. But it is. Oh, what's up, Yasmin? I got tri-tips. That's a triple top. So on the daily, if it can take out the triple top in a certain amount of time, in a short amount of time, if it takes forever to get back up into the tri-tips, you can just bet that it's going to fall over. That's a 3-bar pattern. Watch for previous low breaks. The 8 is hovering on previous highs. The 13's just a little bit tighter on previous highs, and then the other previous highs coming all the way in through the range. Plenty of support on the way down. So gather its legs, try again over the long-term pattern. So this weekly's turning out. Looks like it's doubling back already. At the punch, or the 1, 2 punch, and got rejected. Let's see if it can gather its legs real quick and take out that top. Bam. Be a nice breakout when it happens. Copper. Copper looks good. It's got to take out that top. GDX still in the pattern. Got a 2-bar pattern on the bottom. Resistance right now at the 8. That's the weekly chart. Nice 2-bar pattern over the 8, into the 13, back into the 8, held support. Bam. So look for GDX to come back into support. If it has enough gusto, it needs to take out that double top. And if it takes out the double top, you got resistance on the previous line pattern, the previous channel, the channel that it's in. Getting tighter for GDXJ. Over the 8, into the 8. Back over the 8, into the 13, over the 13, back into the 34, back into the 13. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Making a bottom. It didn't come down into the natural course of return at support. And so what do I call that? I call that double bullish. I had a line of support that usually prices come back in naturally. And if it skips a beat and doesn't come all the way in, then I'm calling it double bullish. Let's see if we can get a breakout on that this time around. Got to get over the 34, break previous highs, in and around 34. I think we can get over that long line right there. 34, 34, 25, 34.50, previous high. No, not 34.50, 35, excuse me. 34.25, 35. Let's call it 20, 35 for an easy break. Trade outside the pattern. JNUG. Come on, JNUG. They just crushed this thing, so I'm not very excited about JNUG lately. The last reverse split just took it all apart. No one has any fun on this thing since it made the reverse split. It's in the channel, trade outside the pattern. Or buy support, sell resistance. You can do that all day long too. You gotta really know what you're doing, but sure as heck can make a lot of money if you knew what you're doing. 2-bar pattern over the 8, back into the 8, over the 8, back in the 8. Over the 13, back into 13. Watch the previous high break as it's consolidating on the way up. 18 into 20. Watch the 20 resistance, come back into the 18 range, gather its legs and try again. Or we can just get one sizable day with a huge amount of volume and just break that flat top there. It is coming off of a bottom. And it has support now. The 8 and the 13 are support and resistance lines for me. Nugget. 2-bar pattern over the 8, into the 8, over the 13, into the 13, blah, blah, blah. Look for resistance at the 34, previous lows. Boom, 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 boom. My line's all screwed up, so I was waiting for a bottom. Is that just right off the bat, looking at that pattern, it looks like the steep decline, maybe even a step down, and then back through, maybe, I don't know. Or it could have been, that was the step down, back through. Trade outside the pattern. If you're holding long, support drops out, you better get out. I think it's gearing up for something big. That's all I can say. I mean, look at the same pattern over here. Well, not the same pattern, but the same area where everything broke out all at once. That was a channel. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, boom. And then we got the same thing, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in a tight little range, price pinch. It's got to make a decision up or down here very, very shortly. And my bet is up. Gold, silver, looks like the 78. Looks like that bottom. Looks like the fat finger bottom for gold, silver was the top of the gold silver ratio. So whoever bought 2 weekends ago is in the game. Make sure silver supports, or make sure that support line holds. Nice long wick. Back into support, broke previous highs. I'm thinking it's going to come back in as the 8 comes across. So buy into support. Buy. So get ready in. It's a daily chart. I would say mid next week to the end of next week. Start buying back. Watch that that swing down. Things get volatile down here. Let's see, Tahoe. Let's go through a little. Tahoe has not recovered since its drop off the map. Broke previous lows and it just became no man's land. So I got to get back into the previous ranges. I got to break previous lows at 650. It's a whole dollar away. Tahoe. It looks like a slight cup and handle. The only thing it's got going for it is it's going sideways instead of down or up. It's consolidating, but usually the first consolidation is a bearish flag or some kind of bearishness. So look for a dead cat bounce. For Tahoe. Looks like USLV, looks like price is coming to come back through resistance, back over support, so it looks like we might get USLV back above for some support. Watch it come back in to test support, and then see if we can get a pop right over the 34 at 1250. Looks like it's trying to get over resistance. Gap through, double back. It's at resistance, but I have support now. The 8, the 13, maybe a little pullback into support and test support again before it tries. Because remember, the V bottoms don't work. V bottoms don't work. I need an opposing point for trend, and then we can climb, 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 and then break that resistance. It's never the first time it hits resistance. It's almost always never the second time. It's more likely the third or the quick U over the fourth time. But that being said, if you have momentum and volume, anything could happen. Reverse head and shoulders on Hecla. Left head, watch that right shoulder come in. Watch the really tight, quick pullback into previous low, previous high area for that right shoulder to complete. Usually you want to think that, oh, the 8, the 13 are right there for support, but then that right shoulder always swings down just a tad more, just to shake everybody out before they slingshot it all the way back up. That's a reverse head and shoulders. Looks like the right shoulder is going to be completing soon. Or it could just consolidate sideways. I mean, anything could happen. Sometimes there isn't any sellers out there. Cliffs. Gold and silver ratio, I'll check. I don't think so. I think silver's just consolidating for another good little run. Cliffs had a huge drop off, made a J curve, caught the J curve back into support. Nice hammer on the bottom, double bottom, hammer over support. Previous high break hasn't looked back. Previous high break hasn't looked back. Look for it to come into that resistance line that was previously broken. And it might not be exact, because lines on this trading view does not add up very well. I'm going previous low, previous high. There it is. Nice reverse head and shoulders here, but I do have a head and shoulders top here. So it's got to get some gusto to get above the previous highs to knock out this top pattern, whatever it's doing. The trend is good. Head and shoulder tops are at tops, not at bottoms. So it may have a little dip or two, but it's not going to take a measured move like a regular head and shoulders top would. What is going on? Oh, my chart seized. Everything seized. Huh. Are we back? Come on. There we go. So the previous resistance line is in and around 9. So if you're carrying all the way up past the 34, always buy the dips, as it's going to climb, climb, climb until it hits resistance. AG, Saved by the Bell. Little quick 1, 2, over support, back through resistance. Nice inverted hammer over the 8. Inverted hammer over the 13. Pop, pop, pop. Back into support. Watch previous high breaks at 811. Otherwise, buy into support. Make sure support holds, and that's good. NAK, looks like it's building for another move. A 3-bar pattern, up and over, back into support, lower high, back into support, making a nice little hammer today. Not a perfect hammer, the wick needs to be longer. But watch previous high breaks, into previous lows. I would take the previous candle break. Watch resistance on the way up. I got resistance at the 55. 1, 2, 1, 2, bam, bam. It's building. Got knocked over pretty good. Make sure support holds. It could just drop off the map at any moment. I think we were bearish on this last week. It ran up too hard and fast. URA, good job, URA. 1, 2, came back for a punch. Closing on its highs today. I got previous lows coming in at 14, at 15. So there's a resistance, maybe even 50% of this previous candle, right at 15. Be nice. I hope everyone caught that. Nice move over the 34. Hit the 34, came into support, previous high break, bam. That's it. That's a flat top break. UEC, this one's getting ready for something. You can see it. You can see it. Hit resistance, came into support. Hit resistance, came into support, flat top break, bam. Watch 175 and up. Watch the previous high breaks. Closing on its high today. It's gonna be, you're gonna be hard pressed to buy this in the morning, unless you got privileged accounts. You gotta have privileged accounts to be pre-trading, pre-market trading. It's a joke. UEC, I got a long line of resistance here. Looks like the flat top break's gonna take that out. Watch resistance at previous high, previous low. Looks like 265 to 3 o'clock high, all the way through into the previous line of resistance in and around 4. But the last time it ran pretty hard and fast. URRE. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That was a nice run on URRE. Came down. Consolidate, consolidate, consolidate. And then it did one of those Saved by the Bell. Gathered its legs. Inverted hammer over support was where we started watching this very closely. No, it wasn't this one, was it? I got a partial hammer there. No, wrong one. I was thinking of something different. But anyways, popped to 34, came into support. Popped into the 34, came into support. Got legs. Watch, see those legs. Previous high break, popped, came back into the 34. Watch for previous high breaks. I would say 165 and above, and then take out those 2 wicks at 170. You got resistance at previous highs at 180. I used the previous lows for my sells at 180. I got previous lows at 185. it breaks into these previous lows, it'll ride the range. So the next previous lows would be 185, would be my sell. Easy. Gold silver ratio. Let's see here. Are you talking about the longer term chart, I hope? Yeah, I guess it could be. You got to take out those tops. But I don't think that's going to happen. I got a double top. I don't know about a head and shoulders top. I guess you can make it out that way if you want. So looking at the clouds, make it look like anything you want. I mean, there is a left shoulder, there is a head, and then there is a resistance at the right shoulder. And you can make it out that way. But longer term, I'm thinking you should just stick to the fact that it's a double top. And in order to keep on going, we have to take out that top. Otherwise, it's going to fizzle out. So hope that answers your question. I think we got a couple more here. I scroll down, that's why. So Bitcoin BTC. I had a double top, 2-bar pattern, into support, broke support, back into resistance, and it's forming a pattern. So we got to give it time. I'm thinking this is going to be the first into resistance. It's going to take a leg down, back into resistance, and then we'll have to make sure that we hold support. I mean, it could hold support here and just go sideways and break back above, but it's likely to fizzle out here, take a step down, consolidate, and this is a weekly chart, so it could be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks before we can see a trend change. This is our trend now. So Bitcoin, it's going to have some troubles, I think. On the daily, you can see the head and shoulders top very clearly. Let me take care of my crap. At left shoulder, head, right shoulder, came back into resistance, got knocked the hell back. And now this is the first bearish retracement on the daily. And this could totally reverse. This is a bearish retracement consolidation. It broke support back into resistance and then allows it to fall over. But this could easily turn into a real quick left head, right shoulder quick, right over the resistance line. That could certainly happen. But that being said, I'm still trading the heck out of it. I think Ethereum has reached a bottom. I got a double bottom. I got a hammer. Previous high break, bam. Came back into support. Support has to hold. But watch it breaking into previous lows. Right over that 34. Watch flat top break coming. Ethereum is going to rise, I think, substantially against Bitcoin. So that and Litecoin. Let's pull up Litecoin. Litecoin has a long-term pattern that's bullish. I caught that bottom. I had free shares for a while in it, but then when Bitcoin topped out, I sold everything. So now I'm accumulating everything back. My free trade, free shares strategy, taking a core here, selling at resistance, letting the free shares that have been accumulated rise up, and then buy back into support, do it again, buy back into support, do it again. So I'm doing that now, accumulating as many as I can for the next bull run. So Litecoin, watch Litecoin on a previous high break. I think Litecoin's going to rise substantially against Bitcoin. Also, Dash is one to watch when Bitcoin is coming down. These are weekly charts. So Dash had a 3-bar pattern. It's since then higher lows. Watch for previous high break as it's going to rise against Bitcoin as well, I think. Ethereum, Litecoin, and Dash. There's probably a few others, but those, I think, the main ones. Monero is probably another one I should drop in there, but I don't know. I'm still trading this one. Trying to find a bottom. 100% retracement. Here's a previous high break here. Flat top break. Boom, caught that. I was trying to do something with it in here, and then I let go. I think I had it in here somewhere, and I let go again. Trying to find a bottom, but it broke out, did 100% retracement, bounced. So I'm trying to find that bottom. Right now we're at 59. That's pretty low. I love the way this trades. I can take a Bitcoin and make, it seems like $25 a point. It's, and I think it's a pretty good, and it's smooth. That's a weekly try. I'm waiting for a bottom on this. You can see the pop, and then the consolidation over support. This is a nice J curve coming in. Look at the J curve. It's going to pop. I'm waiting for that. I'm going to catch it. That's it for Bitcoin. Apple, saved by the bell. Absolutely unbelievable how it got saved by the bell. It still has to take out the double top. So no matter what, the double top is still in effect. This could be a bearish retracement back into resistance. Watch for the lower high. And Google got saved by the bell as well, 2-bar pattern. This is pretty much V-bottomed. Watch for a rejection somewhere at the top, coming back into support. What looks like to be a reverse head and shoulders at a top. So I think that's it. Been pretty busy over here. Summer's almost over, so sorry for the sporadic videos, but by the time I get home, I just don't want to do nothing. It's just how it is. But let me know what's going on out there. Hope everyone's doing good. Buy your physical gold and silver. These paper contracts that we're speculating on, sooner or later, is all going to be poof, vanish into the ether. But hope you guys are doing good. See ya.